Hey, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I've got some newness that I just couldn't wait to share with you guys. I picked up the new Huda Beauty Glowish foundation, or skin tint, whatever you want to call it. I grabbed the LauraLeeLosAngeles and Eryn collab. This is Candy Skies. Beautiful, colorful eyeshadow palette, which is right up my alley. I've got the new blush palettes from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I've got the new Glowish Bronzer. So I do have some newness I want to share with you guys. I'm really excited to try these things out. My next day off from work isn't until next week, and I didn't want to wait. So we are doing a lot today. We're doing the most. So I'm a little concerned about the Glowish foundation just because I have a lot of discoloration on my face. Texture isn't so much a problem with me. It's the discoloration, it's the spots, the dark spots, and I've got a lot. So I'm a little concerned with how this is going to look over top of all of that, just because I know it's not going to cover anything. It's just going to bring some luminosity to my skin. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should spot conceal a little bit before going in with this. I grabbed the shade 1 Fair, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe this isn't too light for me. I told y'all that before. I think that I'm Casper ghostly white for some reason, and I always grab the lightest shade and everything, and I immediately regret it when I get it, and then I continue to do it because I'm insane. So I just want to get right into the makeup. I think I'm going to hop off camera really quickly and spot conceal a little bit, and then we'll try out this skin tint. Okay, so I'm mildly spot concealed. I took the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. This one is in the shade Light 2 Vanilla. And I kind of did like a very light wash all over just because I have so much discoloration. And you can still see a lot of the discoloration. So I didn't want to make it heavy duty coverage. I wanted to cover up a little bit of it. I'm trying to figure out the proper application technique for this. I know they have a brush for this specific product. I didn't buy the brush. It was a little pricey. I tried this out yesterday just to see like what it looked like on the skin, but I used my fingers. And I feel like it set pretty well that way, but I kind of want to try it with a brush. On my stuff.
Why you gotta sit on mommy's stuff, huh?
Okay, I don't have like the perfect brush for this, so I grabbed several that I might try depending on how it applies. I have my Sigma Duo Fiber brush. This is the F50. Duo Fiber is really good for kind of stippling product on. I don't want it to be too heavy, cakey. You know, I want to keep it kind of light coverage just and build up from there and see how it looks. I also have my e.l.f. 105 brush. This is also like a Duo Fiber brush, but it's a little bit more dense up top with some tinier bristles kind of poking out, if you guys can see that. I typically use this for cream products, so cream blush, cream bronzer. I've never used it for all over base products, but I think I'm going to start with this one and we'll see how it applies with that first. So I didn't put on a primer today. All I did was my Lancome Advanced Genifique Serum, and then I did my Belief True Cream Aqua Bomb Moisturizer in spot concealed with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I'm going to give her a good shake. We're gonna put a pump. Whoa. Right on the back of my hand, and this stuff is glowy. And I'm gonna dab in and then dab off. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do my Becca under eye corrector. Shit. Damn it. I like putting this on before I put on foundation or other base products because I feel like if I do this afterwards, it just looks like there's a separation instead of it blending and it looks weird. So I don't want to do that. On lighter coverage days like today, it actually doesn't look bad with just the Becca under eye corrector. If you guys have been here for a while, you already know this is not my typical, okay? I like the heavy coverage. I've got, again, a lot of dark spots and discoloration, so going light coverage is going to be difficult. But we're going to try. All right, let's just start. I actually applied this to half of my face yesterday, just like testing it out, and then I applied the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter over the other half of my face, and just upon first impression, like just getting it on the skin, I liked the way that this sat better because it wasn't as... The Charlotte Tilbury was a little bit glowier, almost too glowy. I really don't use that one a whole lot just because it emphasizes any kind of imperfections that you have. I'm not really much on the glow, and I don't know what I was thinking buying this one, but damn it, I just want to fit in, okay? She is glowy. I should have put my hair back. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. This might not be the right brush. I feel like it's laying down a little too heavy with it. Shoo-wee. Look at that dew. Holy Moses. Now, I really bought this to use as a mixer into my matte foundations. That way it will wear a long time, but I'll look glowy and not like the Sahara Desert. But I did want to try it as it was intended as well. So that's why we're doing this today. I want to show you what I look like when I look like a glowy disco ball. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot. Y'all, that is a lot of glow. We're going to do one more pump. I am going to lightly powder over top of this because I plan on putting some powder products on top, and I don't want it to affect their application because they're new, and I want to share that with you. Plus, this won't wear but 5 minutes if I don't powder at least a little bit. But I'm going to try to keep... What the hell? I'm going to try to keep it looking dewy, or at least semi-dewy. I'm worried about it settling in my lines on my forehead. Wow. You guys see all that dew? Holy shit. See, I'm not really comfortable with that, because this is how my face looks anyway after 8 hours of not blotting or powdering. I look like this. I don't need a product to help me look this way. This might be a little much. I do think that it was the right shade, though. I feel like if I would have went darker, it wouldn't look right. Like, I look like... I look like I need battered. And I can see it sitting on my skin. Like, it doesn't look... It's not really blending in as well as I would like it to. I can see that there's makeup on my skin. Are you supposed to let it dry? Like, does it set down at all? I don't know. I don't think it does. Oh, it's real tacky. I'm just not used to this kind of product, that's all. It's not any fault of this product. I'm just not used to the extreme dew. I feel like this would work extremely well mixing it into my foundation, though. So I'm really excited to try it like that. I wonder how it would work as like a primer. Do y'all want to look this glowy? Do y'all want to look like somebody rubbed oil all over your face? Because that's how I look right now. That's how I feel. Wow. It's kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know I was gonna be glowy, but I wasn't expecting. Why wasn't I expecting? Oh my god. Okay, maybe I will put down a little bit of concealer. Let's use my NARS Radiant Concealer. And I'm just going to try to do a very tiny dab. Just like a smidge. Oh, that doesn't look bad. Like, at all. The concealer. I just thought about something. I'm going to be reviewing the Candy Skies palette from LauraLeeLosAngeles. It's her collaboration with her niece, Eryn Weaver. Such a stunning palette. Whoops. Beautiful. But now I'm concerned. I should have done that first, so I could have done different eye looks. So I think what I'm going to have to do is do 2 different eyeballs. And I hate doing that because I just feel like, I don't know, I want things to be uniform, but it's not going to work today, so... anyway, that random thought, just thought about that. Let's move on. Okay, I'm actually going to set with the Hourglass Powder because this one does have a slight luminosity to it. It's not crazy glowy or anything like that, but it does have, in my opinion, a slight luminosity. So I'm going to powder with this really quickly. That way I can put some newer products over top. I really want to try the Glowish Bronzer from Huda Beauty, and I also have both blush palettes from Jaclyn Cosmetics, which I'm really excited to play with. This is my 103 brush from e.l.f. It's just so good. It's so good. And we're gonna set. I got to, y'all. Okay, I was trying to keep it light. That didn't happen. But you can still see that sheen coming through, and that's what I was hoping for. I just don't want to look like I'm like an oil slick. I don't think that's a good look on me. Maybe a good look on you. It doesn't look quite flattering on me. I hate this component for this Hourglass powder, by the way, because I need powder. Like, I need all the powder. Well, I gotta say, I really like it a lot now that I've powdered. Wow. Hold on. Did that just change the game? Hold up. Especially with this Hourglass powder. Ooh. It kind of looks like I have a filter on. I don't hate that. I kind of like it. Okay, let's move on to the Glowish Bronzer. I got mine in the shade 1 Light. I really wanted to get the medium shade, but I was afraid it was going to be way too deep. And looking at this, I feel like I made the right decision. This is going to be a first impression. I have not used this on the face yet. I swirled my finger in there. Y'all know. I don't know how to not touch things when I get them, okay? I have to at least touch things. I have to feel the texture and swatch it and all that jazz. So I did that, but I've not applied it to the face. I'm going to take my Sigma F40, the large angled contour brush. I use this all the time for bronzer. We're not going to do the contour and all that stuff today. We're just going to keep it with the bronze. I'm trying to keep this fairly simple because I do have to go to work in a little bit. And we're just going to give her a little swirly do. Okay, that's, looks a little deep. We're going to tap her off really good. Holy cow. Oh, I'm a little nervous now. And I'm just like really lightly applying that. Oh, that actually looks really nice. I'm gonna attempt to not go overboard. I'm not making any promises. I said attempt, okay? I mean, I kind of like that. I can still feel a little bit of the tackiness underneath that Hourglass powder. That's one of the reasons why I don't use that Hourglass powder very much, is because I feel like it doesn't do a whole lot for, like, actually setting your face, but I wanted to keep the base glowy, and I feel like I was able to do that by using that powder, so that's why I did that. But I can feel it, like, sticking a little bit when I'm trying to like, drag it, so that's why you see me stippling it a little bit more. I kind of like it. How about we stop there before I go extremely overboard? I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to do better. But I really like the texture of this. It's like when you feel it, I don't want to say it feels wet because it doesn't feel wet, but it doesn't feel like a very chalky powder, like nothing like that at all. I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely got a different texture than what I'm used to with powders. I like it a lot. It almost reminds me of that Dior powder, the new one. That's kind of the not quite. It's not quite as creamy as that one, but it's similar, in my opinion, to the texture. Ooh, like that looks really, really nice. It's not overdone. It doesn't look orange at all, except, I mean, in the monitor it is pulling a little bit orange. In person, I'm not getting that. It looks very bronzy. I like it. I like the fact that, yeah, I look glowy. I still look really glowy. I like that. It looks really nice. I'm having a good day so far. I really enjoy everything that I've used so far. That Glowish, you know, had me a little scared, not gonna lie. And I'm not totally sold on it yet, but I think powdering it with the Hourglass was the way to go because it kept the glow. So I picked up both blush palettes from Jaclyn Cosmetics. They both say Rouge Romance on the outside, but this one is Rouge Affair and this one is Rouge Romance. So Rouge Affair is the lighter toned blush palette. Look, y'all know that I'm a blush fanatic, so I couldn't pick just one. I was originally only going to get Rouge Romance, which is the warm toned, because I love a good warm toned blush, a good reddy, orangey blush. But I couldn't resist, and I bought both. But I think it might serve me well to do the eyeshadow first. I'm struggling, y'all. I'm just excited to be playing with some newer stuff, and this stuff has me excited. I didn't hear Eryn mention anywhere in her video that this smelled like candy. I probably missed it because I was just paying attention to the makeup, but I'm telling you, I smell candy. Am I losing it? Maybe I'm losing it. I might be slightly losing it. You know what? I was going to do the blush, but I want to do the eyeshadow first. So let's do the Candy Skies eyeshadow palette next. I'm so excited to play with this. Look, I know it's a rainbow palette, okay, and I have a million rainbow palettes, but I just love the aesthetic of this one. I love the pastel vibes on the outside. I love the colors that she selected. I think they're beautiful. I know I heard some people complaining about like some of the warm tones. I don't care about that. I think it makes it more versatile. You can do a lot with this palette. I think what I want to do is something a little bit more like airy and, I don't know, just easy on one side. And on the other side, I want to do something a little bit more detailed. And in order to do that, we're going to use different eyeshadow bases. So for one side, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is really good if you want to get a decent blend. You want it just to be a simple eye look, you know, nothing serious, nothing too detailed. That's what I use this one for, because I get a really good blend over top of this base. When I want something that's more detailed, more poppy, a lot more color, more like bam in your face kind of color, when I want to get the most out of an eyeshadow pigment or color, I use something like P. Louise. This is a tacky base. It's going to allow that pigment, those powders, to really stick to it, which makes them more pigmented. It makes them pop more. Well, it doesn't make them more pigmented. It allows you to see all of the pigment instead of having it all blend away over top of something that's not as, you know, tacky. Anyway, enough with that. I think I want to start with, let's do the airy side first. So we're going to do ABH on this side, and we're going to do P. Louise on this side. And I don't set this one. I leave it semi-tacky as well. It's just not quite as tacky as P. Louise. P. Louise is that bitch. I really like the way my skin looks. I'm not used to seeing it look like this. It looks so much better after I set it with that Hourglass powder, in my opinion. It was just a little bit too much on its own. I'm not very good at like one and done type of looks. I like to build up depth. So just something that I'm noticing, and this isn't like a criticism, it's just something that I usually like to see in a palette, is some darker mattes, just because, again, I like to build up that depth. I like there to be a little bit of a gradient, but I do understand this is supposed to be more or less like a pastel type of palette, so it kind of makes sense that there's no really deep mattes except for Sugar Mama. Roasted Caramel is like medium. It's not really deep in my opinion, but the rest of your deeper shades are those shimmer shades, like Cloudy is deeper, Mixed Berry is the deepest shimmer shade. So that's kind of where I'm running into a little bit of an issue, trying to figure out what to put where. That's a little tricky. I don't think this palette is so much meant to be worn the way that I wear things, right? Building up that deep matte in the crease and then blowing out from there. So I'm going to have to kind of think outside the box on this one and do it a little bit differently from what I'm used to, which is okay. So this palette is $45. I don't think I mentioned that. It's $45. It's got 14 shades total. Which I don't think is too bad. It is a really beautiful palette. I think it smells like candy. It's probably just me. I'm probably the only one that even sniffed it. I'm the only one that goes around smelling eyeshadow palettes. I'm just going to start off just to go ahead and get things going here. I want to really try out this shade Mint Chip. Whoops, this one. Really beautiful mint green shade. Y'all know I love me some greens. I don't discriminate on the tone. All greens. And we're going to just throw that right in the crease. I hope this brush wasn't dirty. I came home from work last night and saw that my daughter had been playing in my makeup. You know how I know? Just hold on. Because I saw this. And I saw that. And you know, that very well could have been from me. But it wasn't. It wasn't from me. It was from her. Oh, man. That's how I know. That, and I had smudges of red on my IKEA drawers. Nice little wash of color there. Very light. This is actually the first order I've ever placed with LauraLeeLosAngeles. I had never tried their other palettes, so with this order I bought this one, and then I bought Nudie Patootie as well, because it looked like a really well-rounded, neutral-toned palette. So I'm excited to try that one too. If you guys want to see me do a tutorial or videos with that palette, let me know. I know it's an older palette. I don't know if anybody's actually looking for videos with that palette anymore. But if you want to know my take on it and see some tutorials with it, let me know, and I will be happy to do that eventually. Okay. I mean, that's pretty. You know I like my pigment, I like my color, so I'm just building it up, and it's blending really easily. It's not patchy. It looks nice. It's pigmented, very pretty. All right, now what? I'm gonna do something predictable, okay? Because again, I'm trying to keep this side pretty simple. I'm gonna take Cloudy, which is this really beautiful duochrome. So it shifts from that green to kind of maroon. Let's see if I can get it to shift. There it is. This is a very common duochrome color. Just about any eyeshadow brand, not all of them, but a lot of them have made this shade in some sense, you know what I mean? So it's not uncommon, and I do have this shade many times over, but I love it. It's really beautiful, and I like that it's included in this palette. So I'm going to put that out here, I believe, and then I'm going to put Pistachio, this lighter mint green shimmer, on the inner portion. It's a little tough, I'm not going to lie, trying to build up some depth with this, because I don't have any other deeper matte colors other than Sugar Mama, which is that deep matte pink, and I don't want to use that, do I? No, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take Cloudy, that duochrome that I just showed you guys, and pack it on the outer edge here and then blend it up a little bit, and we'll see what that looks like. See, I'm afraid this is going to end up all over my face. Ooh, I'm going to use my finger. That's scaring me a little bit. If my base wasn't done, I wouldn't care so much. That is super pretty. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm just taking it on this fluffy brush. Oh yeah. And blending it up. I am getting a little bit of fallout, but that's because you know, it happens. It's gonna happen. We're just blending that up into the crease now. This is very simple compared to what I typically do. I like to complicate things, you know. If you've been here for a while, you already know that. But I don't hate this. This is really pretty. And you could really amp it up if you used like a glitter primer, glitter glue, something like that. Damn it. It's sticking to the under eye. Since I'm tacky down there. I think that's more Eryn's vibe. I haven't watched, I'll be honest, okay? I haven't watched her channel very much. I do watch Big Auntie. I watch Laura Lee. I have a lot of respect for Laura Lee's. You know, she's raising Eryn as, you know, Eryn's her niece, and she's adopted her. Her and Tyler are raising her. And without going into too much detail, I just relate to both of them a lot, as far as their backstory and their family history with addiction and whatnot, and that runs in my family really heavy. So I just relate to some of the stuff that, you know, they've had to endure, some of the stuff they've dealt with. And I think what what Laura and Tyler are doing with Eryn is just incredible. I just think it's admirable what they've done for Eryn, and just to see Eryn grow and blossom and really flourish since she's been with Laura and Tyler is refreshing to see. And I have a lot of respect for Laura and Tyler because of what they're doing, and just to overcome the things that they've overcome and to see where they are now in life is just incredible. So on that level, I can relate. Like I said, I don't watch Eryn just because she's younger than me, you know what I mean? And we don't have a lot in common, but I do like watching Laura from time to time, and I do have a lot of respect for her because of those things. So anyway, I'm going to take Pistachio right here, and we're going to put that in the inner third of my eye, or inner half, I guess, since we're only using the two shades. Now, you guys know me. I typically like to go all out when it comes to my shimmers, and I like something very eye-catching, very shiny. Like, I want to be the one that walks in the room and everyone's like, damn, what's on her eyeballs? You know what I mean? Or like, wow, they're blinded by the by the shimmer. And these shimmers aren't really like that, which is okay. They weren't formulated that way. And I hate always comparing things to my indie singles and talking about, you know, these smaller indie brands and how amazing their shimmers are, because not all shimmers are going to be like that. And not all of them are made to be like that. So I'm trying to keep that in mind when I do reviews and first impressions and all that, because I don't want to base my judgment on that when, you know, not every eyeshadow is formulated to be that way to begin with. So for what this is and for how it was intended, I think it's beautiful. This is super simple. Like, this is not a difficult eye look in the least bit. It's very light. Like, look at that. It's pretty. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, now the next eye is going to be a little bit more in-depth. I'm going to try at least. So I'm going to take the P. Louise base and we're going to try to get something going on this side here. I'm going to take Sugar Mama, which is this really beautiful deep pink shade, and I'm going to pack that in my crease with a pencil brush. This is from Morphe. It's the E18, and it's really good for like hugging right into that socket. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how these colors work when used in this way because I've never used LauraLeeLosAngeles shadows before today. So this might not work. I don't know. I hope it doesn't stain because I have to go to work after this. That is pigmented, my friends. So what I'm going to do now is lightly drag that color forward. I'm not going to so much pack on this beginning portion here. If you guys have been here for a while, you've seen me do this technique on my channel numerous times. I have a place right here at the beginning of my lid, like in the corner here, that doesn't like to catch shadow. Like, it doesn't blend over top. It's really bizarre. It's always like that too. It's like it refuses, it rejects the shadow. Okay, now that we have that initial shade laid down, I'm going to take E-Bug, which is that really beautiful lavender shade, or like lilac shade, and we're going to take the same brush, and we're going to do half on, half off. A little nervous because this shade is very light. Typically, I like to use 3 shades when I'm doing this technique, but I don't have... Oh, you know what? I guess I could have used the orange. Oh well, hindsight, right? I guess I could still use that orange on the outside of this one. Ooh, there was an idea. And I'm trying to be quick. So I'm hoping I don't jack it up. The goober. Well, you were in here playing with makeup last night, weren't you? I knew because, you know...
my makeup. I burned one.
I don't care if you use my stuff, but you know how I know?
How do you know what? I didn't use that one.
I didn't use that one.
I didn't use that one. I used that one. But
because I know. And you had pink smudges.
Yes. I tried to clean it up because when I was going to do a brown look, there's some brown, so I wiped it up quick over there.
Yeah, I saw that too. There was still some. I cleaned it up real good. I know when you've been in here.
But I
know what gets used. I'm very meticulous about my stuff. I know when people have been in my room. I know when they've been in my drawers. I know when
you remember everything, don't you?
I do. I notice a lot. So far, I'm really enjoying the way this is blending together. It's pretty seamless. It looks really nice. It's pretty simple. I kind of want to go on the outside of that with the orange. Is that going to work? I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm sure as hell going to try because it's pretty. I'm going to take a smaller pencil brush and we're going to dip into the shade Peach Ring, which is this beautiful peachy shade. I might even lighten that shade up a little bit by dipping into Marshmallow, which is that white. So maybe dip back and forth between these two to get a lighter orange. Let's do that. And I am going to blend this a little bit better because right now it looks a little crazy. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. This is the Sigma E36. And I'm going to dip back into a couple of those shades and just get a better blend because I want this to look pretty, I want it to look good. Actually, and I'm going to deepen up that pink too. Some of it transferred down here, which happens if you're using a tacky base. Okay, girl. It's pretty on you. Look at that orange, would you? Is that the one I got you for Christmas?
Oh, no.
It's MAC. It's pretty. I'm going to put Mixed Berry on the outer corner after I pack on Sugar Mama. And then I'm going to take Macaron. Macaron? Macaron? I don't know how you pronounce that. Okay, I'm going to dip in with my finger into that really beautiful purple shimmer shade. A little bit of fallout with this one. This one's a little more crumbly than the other ones. So I'm going to lean forward when I do it. I'm trying to be careful with this shimmer because it is crumbly. And it falls on my face. So I'm like leaning forward so it doesn't. Okay, now that I have that laid down, I like this so far. It's colorful and fun and different, and it looks pretty nuts besides this shade or this set of colors, but whatever. Okay, now I'm going to take... I was debating whether to use like a glitter glue or a concealer or P. Louise base or something like that, but I want to take this shade here. This one's Macaron, and it's just a really beautiful duochrome, and it shifts pink and purple. It's not very opaque, so I'm a little worried about that. So because of that, I am going to put down a glitter primer or glitter glue. I'm going to be using the NYX Multitasker Mixing Medium. This works really well for putting down as a primer for pigments and glitters and shimmers and whatever. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. And I'm going to stamp that on with my finger. Oh, is she pretty? That is really pretty. That shade Macaron, the one that I just put on, looks really nice over top of like a glitter primer because it really makes it pop. And I like how it ties in with the rest of these shades. Okay. I should have done my eyeshadow first. Hindsight's always 20/20. Because I've got a lot of fallout sticking to my stuff here because I wore a glowy base that's sticky. It's just kind of grabbing onto all of that. But I really like that. I'm not going to do a whole lot more with it. Like, look at that. It almost looks like electric. That is so pretty. I don't know how I feel about my choice to put that orange on the outside. I really didn't need to do that. It probably would have looked better without it. But too late now. Not much I can do about that now. But as far as, like, application, the way everything blended, applied, no issues. I'm really pleased with this palette so far. All right. Let's get into the blush, okay? So I think with this look, well, looks, I might do the cool toned, or maybe we'll do both. I mean, should I just really clown it out? I probably should. I'm like such a sucker for a good blush palette, or a good blush in general. That palette is Rouge Affair, and this one is Rouge Romance. These shades here are the ones that really caught my eye, and initially was the only one I was going to grab, but I couldn't help myself. I love me some blush. I mean, I am going to be washing this off shortly. You know what? We're just going to test them out. Let's take Dainty. That's that really hot pink shade, and I'm going to start applying it on this side. I'm going to use the brush that I always use for blush. This is actually the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH6, my very favorite blush brush. It's really good if you have a really... There goes my mirror. It's good if you have a very pigmented blush because it'll keep it more toned down since it's really floofy. And that's my favorite part about it because you all know me and I get very heavy-handed. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to try all these shades. If you guys would like further videos demonstrating these blushes, let me know. I'm a little nervous because, again, this is a tacky base here and I have a feeling it's going to stick. Is pigmented, my friends. That is so pretty though. It would look better over top of a full glam type of beat because you can still see discoloration, like spotting and stuff underneath. So of course that bothers me. It might not bother you guys, but it bothers me. Ooh boy. See, and we went overboard every single time. But that's really pretty. That was Dainty. Can we tone her down with Admirer? This one is more cool toned, more of like a lighter mauve shade. I don't know how I think I'm gonna tone it down by adding more, but you know, that's my logic, guys. I like it. I think it's pretty, but I think I need to stop there because it's gonna get out of control real quick. I'm really excited to keep using that though. Definitely. Now let's go into Rouge Romance. What shade do I want to try on this side? Let's go in with a lighter shade first and then go in with the deeper shade and just see how it builds. I'm going to go in with Pretty Posh. more of a toned down, like everyday wearable type of blush. I'm wiping my brush off very well, by the way. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. That's something I would wear like on an everyday basis type of thing. It's very pretty. You can definitely see the shift between the warm and the cool. Okay, let's build up. Should I do the bright orange shade? Like, oh, it's so pretty. Or even the red? Let's go for it. Let's do Tea Room. We're gonna like lightly. Because this bad boy is dark. Or bright, I should say. Ooh, buddy. Okay, that happened fast. Oh my goodness. But very pretty. I like that shade. One more. Let's go over top with Ever After, and that's that deeper red shade. I like with these palettes, you can really just kind of dibble-dabble into a bunch of different shades and come up with something totally unique. It doesn't have to be the exact shade in this palette. This is going to be bright. This is going to be a lot. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what you can do with it. It's a lot of blush. Look at all that. I know this looks absolutely bananas, okay? I know. I'm having fun. But look how pretty. Like, imagine it with the right eye look or with the rest of my face completely done. It would look really nice. You'll just have to take my word for it. Okay, I'm going to hop off camera. I'm going to do a little something, like very little with my brows. Some lower lash line work very quickly because I do have to completely take this off and redo my face for work. And then I'm going to come back and give you guys my thoughts on the products that we tried today. Okay, so this is the finished look after I added some lower lash line work. I added a little bit of Huda Beauty lip gloss. This one's in the shade Dreamy. It looks peachy here, but on the lips it's pretty clear. For the eyes, I added the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I put the cream gel liner from ColourPop in the shade Crybaby on my lower waterline on this side. And then I used another ColourPop liner. This one's in the shade Icebreaker for my lower waterline on this side. For the brows, I use the House Laboratories. What is this? The Precision Brow Pencils. And I also use the Benefit Gimme Brow. Okay, so I want to recap really quickly the products that I used today, tell you guys my first impression. This is not a full review. I didn't do a wear test on the Glowish, so I can't tell you how it's going to wear 8 hours from now. I only know how it wore during the short time that I had it on today. I've been wearing this makeup now since, well, it's 11:45, and I began doing my base at 8. So almost 4 hours I've had this Glowish on, at least 3 hours. And it is, well, and I also set it with the Hourglass Powder, so can't forget that. And you can tell it's very, very glowy, and it's still a little tacky. And if I continue to wear it like it is, it's going to slide off my face. There's no question about it in my mind. So it's one of those products where I'm going to have to really put on a mattifying primer like my Smashbox Oil and Shine Control. If I put that on and then put the Glowish on, I might have better results as far as wear time is concerned. But overall, I don't hate this product. I feel like after I put on that Hourglass powder, it really changed the way I felt about it. Before I powdered, I really wasn't sure about how it was setting on my skin. It looked like I had makeup on my skin. And maybe it's because I put on too much. I honestly don't know. But now that it's had time to kind of settle, kind of mesh with my natural oils, mesh with the powder, it really does look, it looks pretty good. It's not overly settling into my lines, not any more than any other foundation or tint or whatever would. So I don't hate this product. I'm actually really excited to mix this in with my foundation. I might even try that today when I go to work. I'll let you guys know if I do and how it works out. I'll put it in the comments. But anyways, overall, I really do like this. I'm excited to keep playing with it in the future and trying it in different ways. I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Let's put it that way. So this was a win. The Glowish Bronzer, I think you guys know how I felt about this. It's beautiful. The formula is really smooth. Feels kind of like buttery when you're, I don't know how to explain it. It's just super smooth. It reminds me kind of like that Dior powder, like I said earlier. And it glides on effortlessly. It blends really beautifully, even over top of like a semi-tacky base. I didn't have any problems with this being patchy, sticking funny, anything like that. It looks, I really enjoy this. I think it looks really nice. And it's not orange. It's got a really nice tone to it. So again, mine is in One Light. If you're my skin tone or lighter, definitely go with the light one. I really like it. I think this is a fantastic bronzer. For the blush palettes, y'all know that I'm a blush freak, okay? I love me some blush. I knew I was gonna like these palettes. It's pink, red, orange powder, okay? It's kind of hard to mess that up. Did I go overboard? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, I did. Do I mind? No. Why am I asking myself questions? I don't know. Am I going to keep doing it? Maybe. I really do like these palettes. I can't wait to keep using them. I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of them because I love the tones that are in both of these palettes, and I wear blush on an everyday basis. So I would recommend these to you all. If you love blush as much as I do, I think that you would really enjoy these. Last but not least, Candy Skies from LauraLeeLosAngeles. This is a really beautiful palette. I would say if you're looking for a pastel-themed rainbow palette type of situation, then this is a good choice for you. I really like the tones that were picked out. I like both eye looks I was able to create. I think they're both very different, and I look forward to creating more looks with it. So I would say overall, today was a huge win. I was so excited to sit down this morning and film. Normally I don't film before work because it's a lot. It's a lot to sit down and film for hours, get a full face on, then take it all back off to put on another face to go to work. It's pretty taxing. So that just tells you how excited I was to play with these products today, and I'm so glad I did. This was a big win today. So if you guys like this video from me, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Not only does that let me know that you like this type of content, but it lets YouTube know. When you guys do that, when you like, comment, subscribe, share, any of those actions, it'll push my content out there for more people to find, which means more people make their way to this channel and this community. And I'm so grateful when you guys take the time to do that. If you aren't subscribed yet, I do hope you consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content. If you enjoy other content of mine, tap the notification bell so you don't miss future uploads, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.